All right. So what do we got here? That is really short. Why is that all short? All right, let me see if I can put my thoughts together here. So basically, what I'm thinking here. Uh, oh, that's too much. Oh gosh, the dog wants to go out again. So thought is that we have a browser source. You know what? Just right. Let's see. All right, what is it? What is it? What is it? So browser source joystick capture to signal R to polar service to our listening desktop app. Probably plenty of things. It's interesting. Like it kind of came. I've been thinking about how to do this, and um, one of the other developers I was watching, um, I'd recognize his name if I saw it. But anyway, he was showing me an app where he uses joysticks to generate audio, and I think that he just uses maybe WPF. I was like, huh. Really, what I need to do is hook into interpreting. I mean that's maybe I need to break these down a little bit more, right? So, but these are our sections. These are our layers. So the signal R is kind of its own service. Bidirectional polar service aggregates all input. So what I was thinking of, if you have 30 people who are all pressing different directions on the joystick, you could either do like an average, or you could kind of like consider that you have 8 directions. There's probably a couple different ways to go about doing the calculation, but effectively, how do we decide if I have you know 10 viewers, if most of them hit up, if like 5 hit up and everybody else hits some other random assortment of options, we could use it like a voting system on how the controller goes. Now, I don't know if I would want the main server calculating all that constantly. handling the hmm uh, it could be I mean, maybe it almost needs its own signal or hub to handle all those messages. We could do that. It doesn't have to. The hub doesn't have to run locally. All it has to do is transmit information from A to B. Uh-oh. All right, let me take these dogs out real quick. Um, well, apparently she decided to skedaddle, so all right. So we need maybe 4 apps. All right. So a couple points here. Run its own service. Voting system for final movement. You might be able to just kind of do this as both. He's getting all the messages because there's no way I'm gonna send that back. So we have a host and the clients, the viewers, clients, viewers. So host connects, registers invite code. Always like generic bogging down things with slashes. Bah. Registers their invite code, right? And then other people are going to get added. Right. So this, I'll probably end up keeping it with the rest of my stream wraps for convenience, and there's enough overlap in the behavior that I think that would be probably the best place for the browser source joystick capture. At one point, I want to make it so that people can log into that site as well. Hmm. So the invite code, possibly log into main site. They could log in via identity, but that's probably more issues for tomorrow. Let's keep it MVP. MVP, minimum viable product, right? Minimum viable product. Don't get lost in the weeds, as it were. Hmm. Invite code, possible in main site. It would be nice to have a visual representation, but it wouldn't be required. Could be interesting for. Hmm. Ooh. Okay. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. So after vote for each input, we might have to have the. I don't know. We could probably adjust the polling later. After the vote for each viewer, each client's input, I mean, because we're going to have a poll number because it's going to be getting messages. Hmm. So it's going to have a poll value, probably configured via invite code. Hmm. So yeah, so invite code. When app provides invite code via registration, receives back the current poll rate. So what that means is that every X 1 to 5 seconds, we're going to capture the current position controller, pass that in. So 8-way direction, one key press initially. MVP, right? MVP. And I'm just kind of spitballing here. Very, very spitbally. I guess that's one of the good benefits about about streaming software development. Sometimes I have problems where when I'm programming, if I have a pretty good, outline about what I want to do, it's not as bad. I can kind of, follow my path. But otherwise, I tend to be a very chaotic developer, um, jumping from segment to segment. Sometimes just randomly, sometimes it's server, sometimes it's front end, sometimes it's UI, um, depending on my mood at the time. And sometimes folks with ADHD can suffer from choice paralysis, and usually it's not that bad with software development. But if I have an audience, that can be that can be kind of triggering in that regard, as it were. So just developing a game plan, that's actually is you kind of get the benefit of the whole rubber duck philosophy where, you know, it's funny how often you actually see it happen, and you do it yourself, where you have an issue you need to resolve, and when you try to explain it to somebody, suddenly the solution reveals itself as you're explaining it, or you have an epiphany, or something along those lines. All right, so where were we? 8-way direction. So we're going to keep it simple-ish initially. So I think the thought is that, if the users are pressing, we're polling every couple seconds to see what they're pressing. We could even have a setting that says only, at that point it probably doesn't matter, but, you know, we probably do need to set a threshold, you know, the first so many messages that came through, we're only going to process those because, you have to have you have to have a limit. Otherwise, one day you wish you will, or you wish you had developed a limit. So, um, cap the number of inputs we consider. Let's see. Ublik. Let's call it so just let's look at this. So we've got int poll length, max number. What's the difference between a poll? and a vote. We polled the. I was thinking maybe if it's the anonymity of it, but no. Anyway, um, just kind of jotting down what that might look like. So, hmm. I wonder if you'd want to do it as a flag. What I might do is give this to Chat GPT after I've got kind of a. I think that if I had one thing to wish for, it would be the to never experience, to never emit another typo ever again. I think that's a worthy option. I think we'd want to know who it was. Maybe not for MVP though. Let's see. I need to look up how to do these as flags. 'Cause it'll be. I don't have to worry about people actually hitting up and down at the same time realistically, but leaving that as a possibility, I think, is easier than. I mean, we could do 8 enums. I don't know. It's always kind of fun to throw these things at ChatGPT and see what what it thinks. What would it recommend? I'm noticing all my stuff is missing. There's my bars and you know. Oh, I know why it's missing. Man, what is? Oh, I see. Okay, okay, okay. Um, it's looking kind of empty. What's going on here? It's a little better. Okay. Oh, that's what I thought about the other day. Um, I need to make this just a standard thing because I know I'm going to be doing it more often than once. But so I wanted to start using. This project has gotten pretty ridiculous in scope and size, so I'm trying to get a little bit better about remembering to utilize, documentation and story points and, at least generating cards for work that I intend to do. Um, all right, so there's no existing cards called joysticks, so call this J. Or joy. Because why not? It's a good enough word. Nobody will ever misconstrue what that means. Okay. So I can take that 220 and Sorry, you'll have to bear with me just a minute. I need to get this icon up, and I need a better way to do this. It's just, you can only do so many things a day. Here we go. It's gonna be worth it, I'm telling you. There we go. Ha ha. I I did the thing. So anyway, the chips are these little icons up top, and 220 doesn't necessarily mean anything to you guys, but it means something to me. And I thought, if I'm going to make this a beneficial tool to my development, then, we can kind of spruce things up, decorate it with things that are meaningful. It kind of fills that top bar for sure. But like right now, that one's doing uh, achievements. It'll pick up the current song if I've got that set up right, which apparently I must not. Is that going to get it? There we go. I need to tweak the width or do something about make it cut off, or I don't know, make it not fall over like that. I'll put it that way. All right, so 220. Story 220. This almost, I mean, really, this could be broken up into multiple stories, and probably should be. But I think that's kind of one of the fun things about, like, you know, I don't know if I want to call it agile, but 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 indeed, agile. But let's call this just joystick. Oh no, shit! Where did that thing go? My mouse is dying, and it dropped my card in a random folder that I did not intend to drop it in. Slideshow. All right. So really, we need three, right? We need the browser source. Yeah, let's see. We'll call this overview. We're going to duplicate this, make a copy. We're going to call this the browser source. Unconditional love. I guess it's not as easy as it sounds. All right. So, see, I think this It almost needs its own library. This guy is rhyming too much for me, man. No, no. Cut it out, dude. That's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Call him your shit. All right. So, I think we want to call this. See, this is why I think things can get kind of complicated. And all right, we're gonna go. Maybe I will make this its own website so I can keep them all together. Maybe, because I need. I need a C sharp bridge. Well, that needs to actually capture that card too. So we've got. Do we put all three libraries in this repo? I guess we do. All right. Joy to Joy. J2 SR Joy. Um, server slash. All right. No, no, no. All right. Well, repo is created. And really, the README, let's see. Joy to SR Joy. The heck? Now, there, it finally switched. Guess we'll call it joystick host for now. Seems reasonable. Hmm. Do you forget how you set something as a flag? Let's see. Oh, it's a decorator. Down. Oh, I just realized you guys can't even see what I'm writing down here. It's not super helpful, I suppose. Like that. Oh man. Actually, I'm getting tired, guys. It's already after 1. I probably better get some sleep anyway. So I'm just gonna drop out here. We will catch you guys mañana. We'll be streaming more Larkin work on DJ Spottybot, and we'll try to pick things back up again tomorrow night.